This is our third video for Chapter 8. This is Chapter 8, Section 3, Three-Dimensional Figures and Spatial Reasoning. What you'll learn in this video is to identify three-dimensional figures. And remember, a polygon is a closed shape with three or more sides. So a triangle has 3 sides, a rectangle has 4 sides, a pentagon has 5 sides, a hexagon has 6 sides, a heptagon has 7 sides, and an octagon has 8 sides. In this video, there are 10 terms you need to define. I recommend using the first page for your video just for the terms, and then continuing your exercises on the back so that you are sure you have enough room to write all 10 terms. The terms for this video are three-dimensional figure, faces, edge, vertex, prism, cube, pyramid, cylinder, cone, and sphere. Be sure to pause the video and write their definition as you see them all in the video. A three-dimensional figure is a figure that does not lie in a plane, meaning it is not a flat shape. It has 3 dimensions: length, width, and height. The flat surfaces of three-dimensional figures are called faces. An edge is a segment where 2 faces meet. A vertex is a point where 2 edges meet. When you draw three-dimensional figures, use dashed lines to indicate the hidden edges or the sides that you could not see if this was really a solid shape in front of you. A prism is a three-dimensional figure with 2 parallel and congruent faces that are polygons. These faces are called bases. The prism on the previous slide is a cube. All of its faces are congruent, or are the same size. Congruent just means the same. Now, in this section, you'll be expected to name the prisms based on the shapes they have. So a base shape of a triangle is a triangular prism. A base shape of a rectangle is a rectangular prism. Pentagon becomes pentagon prism. Hexagon becomes hexagonal prism. Heptagon becomes heptagonal prism. And octagon becomes octagonal prism. So let's look at an example of naming a prism. So we want to name the prism shown. So on this shape, we know that the base is these hexagons. We know that because that's where all the other shapes come together. Even if it wasn't labeled, you would be able to figure out that the base of this shape is the hexagon because it's where all the rectangles come together. So because the base shape is a hexagon, the figure is a hexagonal prism. So the rule of thumb to remember is that when naming a 3D figure, identify the shape of its base, then determine whether the faces meet at one vertex. So that just means do all the shapes that are not the base have to come down and meet whatever that base shape is. Kind of making a tube down to the base of the other shapes. Pause the video and do this quick check in your notebook. Be sure to label it as quick check or exercises. Number all of your problems and show any work necessary. And remember, when naming a prism, you have to decide what part of the shape do all the other shapes go down or up or sideways to determine what your base shape is. A pyramid is a three-dimensional figure with 1 polygon for a base. All of the other faces of any pyramid are triangles. The faces will all meet at one vertex or one point. And you name the pyramid by its base. So this particular pyramid is a rectangular pyramid. Some three-dimensional figures do not have polygons for bases. A cylinder has 2 congruent parallel bases that are circles. A cone has 1 circular base and 1 vertex, but no other shaped sides. A sphere has no base at all. It's just That's what a round ball is. It has no flat sides. It's just all spherical. Now let's look at identifying three-dimensional figures. The American Museum of Natural History in New York City is shown at the right. Name a three-dimensional figure in the photo. Well, right in the middle it's easy to see that there's a sphere in the photo, which is a three-dimensional figure without a base. Pause the video and do this quick check in your notebook. Be sure to number it and show any work. Now it's time to check your understanding. Be sure to label it as check your understanding in your notebook, number all of the problems, and show any and all work. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.